So in this story, Evansville, Indiana is going to take the L. We're going to talk about this story coming out of a website called wwnytv.com. So thank you for the article. People that you guys see on my screen, well, it's a bit of a story that goes along with this, especially that beautiful baby boy that you guys see in the middle of the screen there. Let me give you a disclaimer about my type of content. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. And I meant to tell y'all this earlier. Thank you for everybody who stuck with me while we worked through those technical difficulties. I think we are good to go now. Beautiful baby boy that you guys see on my screen. I'm going to tell you about how he met his demise. So Evansville, Indiana. An Indiana family is mourning the death of a 5-year-old boy, which they say was a consequence of a broken system. The boy's father and his girlfriend, dad's girlfriend, faced cruelty charges in this case. The family of 5-year-old Leonardo Leo Eschlinger says among the courts, the guardians ad litem, AD and then LITEM. I don't exactly remember what that means. The guardians ad litem. Let me see if I can Google it real quick. A guardian ad litem is an officer appointed by the court to represent the child's best interest. They are not required to be an attorney. So there you go. So like a mediator, more or less. And the Indiana Department of Child Services, the ball was dropped when it came to the care of the boy and his 2 younger siblings. They say a snowball of events eventually led to Leo dying in a New Orleans children's hospital. Little things just excited him, said Christy Hale, Leo's great aunt. He would squeal in delight and you just couldn't help but be excited with him. Held among those who attempted to gain custody of Leo and his 2 siblings over his father, Joseph Eschlinger. We tried everything, Held said. We did everything by the book according to the law, which is what I always encourage people to do. Get a lawyer, follow the law. We just got to take what's on the books or change them or vote for it, okay? We did everything that we were supposed to do. Leo was born in Evansville, Indiana in 2018 to Sarah and Joseph Eschlinger, and that's where he lived until 2023. In February of that year, his mother was arrested for burglary and criminal mischief. In March, his parents filed for divorce. Joseph Eschlinger filed for custody of all 3 children, and at the same time, so did Held and family. I want you guys to remember that. He went out of his way to file for custody when the family that actually loved this child and wanted to take care of this child filed for custody. Also, you could have just let this child go, let these children go, but they didn't, and I don't think he loved his kids. I don't. That's what we call a hashtag babies for benefits, when you keep children only to use them for the benefits that you can get off of them. Because if you love them, if you truly, truly love them, they wouldn't end up in a situation like this where they're abused to death, okay? Hill says concerns grew around the idea of the children staying with Joseph and his girlfriend, Diana Lopez. She says Lopez had already been accused of hitting Leo at the time of the custody hearings took place. According to court records, Joseph Eschlinger was awarded custody of all 3 children. Following that, Held says Joseph Eschlinger and Lopez moved into Livingston Parish, Louisiana, with all 3 children. The family wouldn't hear from any of them until December 29th, when Held says that she got a call from the Louisiana Department of Child and Family Services. Leo had been severely beaten and was in the hospital at the New Orleans Children's Hospital, Held said. DCFS said that he would likely not be there when we got there. Less than 12 hours later, Held and her sister made it to New Orleans, where they found Leo on a ventilator. Authorities at the hospital told Held that they had never dealt with a case so bad. According to Hill, doctors said Leo sustained not one, not two, but 3 brain bleeds. 3 brain bleeds. Over 50 loop marks, which sounds like it was probably a belt or some type of cord or whip. A puncture wound and widespread bruising. Why didn't they listen to us? Why didn't they believe us? Hale said of the court system. This poor baby, why is he having to suffer because other people didn't take this seriously? While all of this was happening, Leo's mother, Sarah Eschlinger, remained in jail, the biological mother. Hale says that they were able to arrange for her to say goodbye. We were able to let her say goodbye over the phone to Leo, Hale said. That is something that no mother should ever have to do. You shouldn't have to bury your child. Leo died on New Year's Eve. Joseph Eschlinger and Lopez, the girlfriend, were arrested on the scene on December the 28th, so only like a week or two ago, the night Leo was flown to the hospital in New Orleans. Now, according to jail records, both are charged with cruelty to a juvenile and major injuries and remain in jail on no bond. Hale says that the consequences of Leo's death falls on everyone who allowed Joseph Eschlinger to have custody of the children. And how can you blame her? How can you deny her that? Because clearly she was right. Clearly she was correct. They made a bad decision. There is responsibility that others have in this community for their failure to act. Whatever is required in this system is not enough to ensure the safety of the kids. Hale says as a mandatory reporter, she had reported suspected signs of abuse, but none were ever substantiated by the authorities. She even said that local first responders reported suspected signs, but to no avail. In Leo's death, Hale says that the family is now focused on changing the system they said failed through a new group called Leo's Voice, which Hale hopes will ensure the safety of any child that could be in danger. There's also a GoFundMe set up. I don't know if I put the GoFundMe in here. Let me see. I'm not against GoFundMe. I just think that people should have a plan, a proper plan, which is called life insurance. Everybody should have life insurance. You know what? I didn't put it up. But I can show you guys. I'll take a screenshot. I'll show you. Y'all give me just a second here. So let me bring up this GoFundMe page. Sorry, it's taking so long. Boom, here we go. For those who wanted to see the GoFundMe, you know I'm going to have my opinion. My opinion. Can I make that bigger? I think I can make this bigger for you guys. Can y'all see that? And I want y'all to see the amount of the GoFundMe that they're asking. So if people donate that amount, then I guess it is what it is. Their goal is $25,000. The person who created this GoFundMe is Sherry Eschlinger, and 3 others are organizers of this GoFundMe. These are people that did not have custody of these children. But you're going to put money in the hands of these people who did not have custody of this child. And I got to give a shout out. There was somebody that emailed me the other day. Let me see if I can read this to y'all. And I was right about this, where in most states, if a child is murdered, the state will pick up the bill, but you have to apply for them to pick up burial cost of the child. Let me see if I can find it. It is called crime victim compensation. And I'm going to just read to you what this person said. I will keep their name anonymous. and said, I am currently watching one of your videos and you just made a statement about crowdfunding, like GoFundMe, like this case, and life insurance. I wanted to inform you that most, if not all states, have federal funding for victims of crimes. The applications are not very difficult, but supporting documentation is required. For instance, if a victim were applying for loss of earnings, they would need to supply their check stubs from prior to as well as after the crime. I agree that life insurance is pertinent more now than ever, but I wanted to shed a light on this program as so many have no idea that it exists. But guess what? I have been talking about it. I've been telling people that program is in existence, okay? So I want to throw that out there. They asked for $25,000. They've collected $20,000, and you have somebody who anonymously donated $3,300. So it is what it is. I'm not against people donating to crowdfunding. I'm just saying when there's the murder of a child, be cautious before you just start giving people money. That's all I'm saying. Let me give you guys the fair usage. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. And if you guys would do me a favor and hit that thumbs up, the more people share this video, the more we can get the word out there about this story, okay? So do me a favor and please hit that thumbs up. Leaving a comment helps also. Let's talk about this.
Our WFBI team now, a little boy is dead and his father and the girlfriend are locked up tonight in connection to his death.
The I-Team was first with the details of those arrests this afternoon. Our lead investigator, Scotty Hunter, is here now with what he's learned about the case. Scotty.
Well, guys, here's a look at 26-year-old Joseph Esslinger and his girlfriend. While details are slim in this case, they are both facing some serious charges tonight that could get even worse once we have a better idea of what caused the death of the child in their care.
He would squeal in delight, and you just couldn't help but be excited with him.
Leo Esslinger was full of life and had so much life left to live. At just 5 years old, his great-aunt Christy Held says to know him was to love him. But unfortunately, loving him was not enough to keep him alive. The 5-year-old was allegedly severely beaten in Livingston Parish 2 weeks ago. He was rushed to the hospital in New Orleans, where he died 3 days later.
We tried everything. We did everything by the book, according to the law. We did everything that we were supposed to do.
Leo's father, 26-year-old Joseph Esslinger, and the father's girlfriend, Diana Lopez, are both behind bars tonight, charged with cruelty to a juvenile with major injuries. While authorities at Albany Police would not yet provide details on the case, the family says what happened to Leo was unimaginable. Held says when family raced to the hospital from Indiana, they found him on a ventilator. Doctors there told him the little boy suffered 3 brain bleeds, a puncture wound, and bruising all over his body. While the child's mother was already in jail in Indiana on unrelated charges, his mom's family had been fighting for custody of Leo in Indiana for a while. Now that Leo's dead, they say there is plenty of blame to go around, not just on his father, but on the systems that should have been in place to keep Leo safe.
Why didn't they listen to us? Why didn't they believe us? This poor baby. Why is he having to suffer because other people didn't take this seriously?
The little boy's family is now fighting to give a voice to children who might be in danger to make sure no other child suffers the way Leo did.
We will advocate for those changes. We will see changes made through legislation so that no other child has to go through this. I also made a promise to Leo that he would not have died in vain.
To help them in their fight, there is a GoFundMe set up in Leo's name. We have a link to that right now in the I-Team section of the 9 News app. Guys.
All right, Scotty Hunter for us tonight. A tough one. Thank you. Also from the I-Team.
So again, I truly hope that people understand where I'm coming from. I am not trying to rain on people asking for GoFundMe and crowdfunding if you need it and there's something specific that you want to do. If you outline that in your GoFundMe campaign, then it is what it is, okay? But I want you guys to remember that these people did not have custody of this kid for whatever reasons. I don't know if that was the mom, if her name was listed on there as far as the GoFundMe. I think it was, but I don't want to throw that out there just in case if I'm wrong. So I believe, but I'm not sure. Okay, so I suspect that that was her name on there. Then again, you're talking about a person that allegedly was in jail for robbery. Sarah Eschlinger. Let me see if I can pull that GoFundMe back up. Is that the mother's name? Where's that GoFundMe at? Right here. Sherry Eschlinger. So maybe that's a different person. Could be a different person. That's why I was saying allegedly. I'm not sure. But nonetheless, whatever they're going to do with that money, it is what it is. They're going to get it and then just go from there. Just hope that they do the right thing and do what they promised the people, okay? But nonetheless, I hope that these individuals get life in prison. And that should be the end of it. To Leo, Young King, Young Prince, R.I.P. I didn't want to use this picture with him next to those other folks, but that's easily his best picture. Very bright smile, good-looking young man. Wish I could zoom in on that a little bit further, but that's a good-looking young kid, and he deserved every opportunity to grow up and become something great. If you guys believe that, leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about this story. Share it and share it in his memory, okay? Thank you.